It's coming up in a few minutes. All right, guys. So welcome back to the Consecrator Seat here. This is episode 3 with TJ the Gamer, also known as Master Sword Music, and today
Hey,
we're back with episode 3 of the Consecrator Seat. So TJ the Gamer, or also you call him Master Sword Music. What is something that you want to let people know about that they may not know about your music that may be new to the live?
okay. The one thing I would like people to know that is we got a lot of music, man.
Okay.
We've been going hard for about 2 years now. This is actually my second year on YouTube,
Okay.
and the current project that I have out is actually my ninth solo project.
Okay.
So there is a lot of music out there. So if you
Yeah.
check out that catalog, there's a lot of music out there. If you want something to listen to.
Okay. Okay. Hey, that's a good answer. Wow. 9 projects, 2 years. Woo.
We've been going hard.
You
I'm one
know,
of the few artists out here that who drops new music every week. Like every
you
week,
really? Yeah.
there's a new music video coming out every single week since the beginning of the year. So
Yeah, you've been working, bro. You've been working. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, that's a good thing that you have that amount of projects out within, like you said, 2 years. Just imagine how year 3 is gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot more of it.
year three is about to be crazy. We already got the whole year planned out, and it's crazy.
Okay. Say JoJo, no limit, huh, Master P?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely about to be on my Master P next year because
All right.
all of the artists under Master Sword Music are going to be dropping their own projects. So
Okay.
it's going to be an awesome year. Yeah,
Okay.
my boy Katetsu's got his project coming out next year. My wife
Okay.
Zap Crystal is going to be dropping an album.
Okay.
My boy VG Mobster is going to be dropping an album, and
All
then I
right.
got another album coming out. So
Okay.
next year is about to be crazy.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. You get a chance to hear the collective Master Sword music. Yeah, that's great that you're actually, they're gonna eventually drop debut projects.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a really good thing, man. Definitely. So my next question for you is, this is something I always wonder, but I never did ask you. Do you have unreleased music, or do you not like doing unreleased music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally have a folder on my computer where
Mm-hmm.
it's just full of music that I've never dropped.
Okay.
And it's stuff that didn't fit the album or
Okay.
didn't feel like was quite met the standards of everything else that was on a project, or
Okay.
it just didn't fit the theme of that project or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, on my computer, on my portable hard drive, I have a
Okay.
folder that just has a ton of music that has never been heard by anybody. So
Wow. So do you ever think about like just releasing it for people that haven't heard your older music, or you just like, nah?
I've thought about it. I
Okay.
have thought about it. It may be something that happens in the future where I just drop like the lost tapes or something like that, where it's just a bunch of songs where I didn't drop them. So that's gonna
Yeah.
be
I
and
like that. The Master Sword Lost Tapes. That sounds
yeah.
dope. I like it.
I mean, that is something that might happen in the future. So that's something to look out for sure.
Okay, okay, yeah. I often wonder. I said, man, I said, dude, bro, got unreleased music. Because the way you're putting out music, I'm like, I don't know, but I'm curious to figure this out.
Yeah, man. I'm always making music. Like in my free time. Music is just something that I just love to do. So I'm just always doing it, always doing it. And sometimes something that I make doesn't necessarily work or isn't as good as some of the other stuff. So it just kind of sits around. Or I have like beats. Like it's even worse with beats. Like I have so
Wow.
many beats that probably have never been used.
What?
Like yeah, I probably got at least 200 to 300 beats that I've never used. Like
That's crazy. Wow, man. That's interesting. For sure, man. I was thinking like it was just songs, but you said even beats.
oh
Wow.
no, beats is even worse. Like I have so many beats that I've never even put anything on. So it's like it's crazy.
Wow. So my next question is about the beats, because you really, when you do these remixes, bro, you really bring your own flair or originality to it. Like, how do you go for picking these beats? Is it something where you like, I'm naturally drawn to it, or is it something like, okay, this is my favorite video game, and you're like, I'm gonna pick this one versus the other one?
It's a little bit. It's a couple things. Well, the main thing is usually a game that I'm familiar with and that I'm
Okay.
very fond of, and I just wanted to do it. So like you'll see that a lot. Sometimes there's suggestions from the community. Like
Okay.
every once in a while, I'll drop a tweet and be like, "Hey, what games would you like to see me do?" And then I'll get a couple suggestions and I'll listen to a few and I'll be like, "Okay, I'll try this, I'll try that."
Okay.
And then there are some times where there's just I just find something like I'm currently playing a game. Like it's actually funny. I'll actually talk about it this one.
Okay.
Lately I've been playing this game a lot called Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a farming simulation game that me and my wife play together. It's a really good
Okay.
like couples type of game.
Mhm.
And like we was playing the game, and then this one song came up, and I'm like, man, this sound like I think I could do something with this. So actually, next week, next Tuesday, actually, I'll be dropping a Stardew Valley remix. So it's like
Okay.
sometimes I'll be playing a game, and I'll just hear something and be like, oh man, I got to do that. Or it'd be just a game that I love a lot, like Chrono Trigger or something like that. So
Okay.
it just depends on just what catches me at the moment.
That's a good way to go about it, man. Yeah, you ask your community sometimes it's you playing a game. Yeah, because I often wonder, I said, bro, he be like figuring out stuff. But I love the way you do the remixes, man. The remixes are really cool because I'm like, man, have you ever thought about like doing a partnership like one of the gaming companies, like a Nintendo, PlayStation, or anything like that, like a big opportunity?
That's the ultimate goal. That is like one of my biggest dreams one day is to actually get some of my music featured in a video game. So it's like that's definitely something I'm striving towards. That's why I'm trying to build up the channel, build up that audience. Because one day I would love. There's two big goals that I have. Is one day I want to have one of my songs or one of my remixes featured in a video game in some way. And my second one is I actually want to go to a gaming convention and perform my music live.
Okay.
So those are like two of the big goals I have for my channel. And the second one I was just talking about actually might be happening next year. So
that's what's up.
Fingers crossed, I might have a convention coming up next year where I'll be performing. So
yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, definitely. Because I often wonder, I said, man, this is interesting. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good thing that you do want to go out and try to do something with that when it comes down to it. My next question is something that's interesting. I think I've never asked you this before. Do you ever have writer's block or a time where you're just like, I don't know where I want to go with my music when it comes to like certain things?
You know, the funny thing, it happens a lot more than you would think it would.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I finish a project and I'm done and I go back and I listen to it, I'd be like, man, what in the world am I going to do next? What in the world? Like, I'd be like, and then eventually like, it'll just hit me. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. Now, but it happens to me all the time. Like usually after I finish a project, I'm just like, man, what do I do now?
Oh, wow.
Like, I did this day. I don't know where to go. Like, where do I go next with it? And I'd be stuck for a long time. And then eventually something just kind of sparks that energy again. And I just come back with something. But it actually happens to me quite a bit where sometimes I just don't know what to do.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, because I often wonder, I said, as much music you put out, I would have never expected that. I was like, wow, you really do have that? Wow.
Oh, man. I had a real bad case of it. Like, after this current project, I had a real bad case of it where I went like maybe like 2 months without writing anything.
Wow.
And I was just like, I couldn't come up with anything. And it's actually one of my artists that I work with, my man Katetsu. He's actually getting into doing production now.
Yeah.
So he started making me some beats because normally I just work on my own beats.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, but now one of my artists has gotten into production now. So my next project that's coming up will actually feature a lot of beats made by him. Okay. And it was that kind of sparked me off because I was just like, oh man, his style is a lot different than mine when it comes to production.
Okay.
And I was like, man, that's what I needed to like get my writing like flowing again, was just that different style. So I'm really excited about that next project that I'll be dropping next year. Like it's gonna be something different than what I normally do. So it's gonna be a real old school 90s hip hop album. So it's gonna be like gonna be crazy.
Okay. Yeah, because I often wonder, I said, I never thought he had that going on. I said, man, well, at least you're not like Andre 3000. That man, you put out a couple verses, disappear. You like, dang.
Yo, he'd be like, I'm out. I see y'all in a couple more years.
Right.
One of my favorite rappers of all time, too. Like, I love him. Like, he's one of the best.
Yeah, he is one of the best, man. He's gonna give you a feature worth.
Oh, a mean one too.
Right. So my next question is: have you ever turned down any collaborations, like from people that wanted to work with you, or maybe not?
The funny thing is for most of my collaborations, they're usually people that I reach out to. So it's
Okay.
like
Okay.
I'll see somebody that I like, and I'll be like, "Hey, man, like, would you be interested in doing something?" And they usually say yeah. So it's like I've never really had that problem yet, and I haven't had. I've had one guy, a guy named Action Jack, who
Okay.
is another rapper that does his own
Mhm.
music. He reached out to me to do something on his album,
Okay.
and that was, of course, I said yes because he's actually one of my favorite artists I listen to right now.
Okay. That's
So
what's up.
it was really cool to be featured on his project, and then he's actually going to be featured on my next project as well. So it's
Okay.
like we've been working back and forth, and Sound of the Rain is another rapper. Like straight, if you
Okay.
love Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Uh-huh.
this guy is somebody to check out because his style,
Okay.
he sounds like he was like the missing member of Bone Thugs. Like
Okay.
it's incredible. Actually, me, him, and Action Jack have a song together that's
Okay.
going to be coming out on my next project. That is absolutely crazy. So it's like
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
looking forward. That's one of the things I really love, like the most, is like collaborating with other artists and other people. So it's like
Yeah.
it's been all love. Like everybody that I've reached out to has been all love, saying yes and we'll do it. Let's do it. And
Okay.
so I've never really run into that issue yet.
Oh, that's a good thing. Honestly, yeah, man. You never know. Yeah, that's definitely good that either most of the time you're reaching out to them, or if they see an interest in you, like, hey, let's do something together. Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, because I know I've heard some stuff. People that are musicians and they're like, man, people and did this and that. I'm like, wow. So yeah, that's good that that's not the case for you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you because I listened to All About You. The Bayonetta song, was that always a dance vibe? Because I get like Spanish music, Latin music, the way it sounds.
Actually, the funny thing about it is, Bayonetta is probably one of the most popular songs on the album so far.
Okay.
But it was actually one of the last songs that I finished.
Wow.
Like, I had the beat and I had the hook done, but for some reason I was struggling to get the verses done. It was one of those writer's block situations where I could not get the verses done. And then maybe like a week before the album came out, I finally was able to figure it out. And yeah, the way that one came along is because for those of you who don't know, I'm married to Zap Crystal, who's another amazing content creator, and she's actually Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So she's been showing me a lot of her music, like her cultural music.
Okay.
So I've gotten into more like Latin style music, and I'm really starting to enjoy it and love it. So when when I started to do that song, like I wanted to do something like that, like just kind of in honor of, her culture and stuff like that. So that's how that song came to be.
Yeah, because I said, man, it's like it's giving dance vibes when I listen to it.
Yeah, it had that little Latin. Yeah, I wanted to try something different, and like I said, I wanted to show love to her culture. So I thought that was a really cool way to do it, and it once I finally got those verses together, it finally came. And like I said, it's probably one of the most popular songs on the album so far. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I thought Monado would probably be. Is that the second one?
Monado's pretty high up there. Monado's high up there as well. Okay. Monado is definitely pretty high up there. That one seems to get a lot of love.
Yeah, I saw the video. So I got a question for you with the music video, because I don't know. I like watching your music videos because you always bring something unique with it. So I'm getting from Monado featuring Thousand Star. By the way, I get that this is like maybe like a long distance relationship. That maybe the meaning behind the song.
You got it. You got it. You absolutely nailed it. So this is the entire album actually as a whole is the story of how I met the woman that I'm now married to.
Okay.
And during the beginning, it's kind of like inferred that we're together. But when you see Monado, it's like, oh, she kind of like at the end, she like, what's going on? And you actually nailed it, because I am actually not from. I live in Texas now, but I'm actually not from. I'm actually from the East Coast. I'm from Virginia.
Okay.
So when we first became friends, I was still living in Virginia and she was living in Texas. So we were friends for a very long time. And then after some things changed. We kind of grew into the relationship that we have now.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of you. You're the first person that actually pointed that out. So excellent job on that. Yeah, it was a long. I was at the time I was still living in Virginia and she was living in Texas, and we were building our friendship online because we actually met through YouTube because I was following her content for a long time. And, we became friends over time, and then eventually we grew into the relationship. And then the beginning of this year is when I actually moved to Texas.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got it, bro. Like you got it. You nailed it.
I was sitting there. I was like, yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, I was like, man, because I was like, dang, did she disappear at the end? It's like, then I was trying to figure out the concept. I'm like, let me watch this again.
You got it. You were the first person to call it out, bro. You did it.
I'm a very analytical person, so that's probably why I was like, man, let me watch it again. I'm missing something.
You got it, man. That's crazy. That's actually crazy that you got that. Because I try to hide it pretty well in there. Because like in the first couple videos, it seems like we're just together. But if you pay attention, like the first video, we're just on the phone.
Right?
Yeah, we're just on the phone. So you never actually see us physically together. In the second video, you see me fall asleep. And then Bayonetta is like a dream, basically. At the end of Bayonetta, I wake up. And it's like, oh, I'm waking up for a dream. So she actually wasn't there. And then Monado, it seems like we're together. But then at the end of the video, you see her kind of like fade away. Like, what's going? And then you kind of you managed to put it all together, bro. I'm actually shocked that you got that. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I was deciphering, bro. I'm like, okay, so the other video did this. I'm like, this is like, and I like that you did it in acts. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a video game because you did Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Yeah, if you follow, as you continue to watch the videos as they drop, the story is going to continue to just unfold, and at the end, you'll see how we ended up where we are now. But yeah, that's basically the whole premise of All About You is our story.
Okay, yeah, I figured it was a how you met her and everything. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, I am really impressed, bro. You just called out the whole story. I'm like, oh man, he catching it early. It's like the more videos comes out, the more obvious it becomes. Yeah. But like you catching it pretty early. So
yeah, Master Sir. I'm one of those people. I'm very analytical. I'll go back and watch something like, something missing. Okay, I'm missing out on something. Because sometimes a lot of people, when you watch music videos, sometimes we don't go back. Same thing with movies. And you'll miss out certain sequences or just certain wording. And you're like, oh, this person's the villain, or this person did this. This is the past, and we don't pay attention to the details sometimes. So it's always good to go back and listen to a song or watch a video, maybe even a movie, even a TV show, to understand the concept behind it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy because that's how I make my music. Like all of my music is based on my life story. So like anything that I've talked about in my music is something that's happened to me at some point in time. But this project is the first time that I've ever made even the videos tell the story as well. So shout out to my wife Zap Crystal. She's the one who actually came up with the idea, and she's the one that's been filming and editing these videos. Yeah. So she did an amazing job with these videos, and it's some of the best stuff that I've put out. So me and her have been working hand in hand with this project, and it's definitely paying off.
Yeah, it's flowing naturally. You see it, it's like, oh man. So my next question for you is, have you ever thought about doing apparel? With your music, or nah?
I said that I couldn't hear you. Sorry, what happened?
I said, have you ever thought about doing apparel, for your music? Like when you sell music, that you maybe have clothing, hats, boot bags.
It's funny that you bring that up because that's actually something that's going to be happening in the future for next year. Okay. I have some plans for next year for some merch stuff. Okay. Also, I want to start doing physical releases of music. Okay. We're going to have a special thing where we could actually order a physical CD with the cover art and all that stuff, something special for the fans out there. Okay. So that's something that you'll probably be seeing next year.
Okay, yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, I wonder, is he gonna ever do a book bag, hat, shirt, hoodies?
I'm definitely trying to bring out some Master Sword music gear soon. So that's something that's in the works, and I'm hoping that is something that we'll be able to bring out next year. But definitely
Yeah.
something I want to do.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because I see a lot of people. That's the new thing with artists now. You go on Amazon, iTunes, wherever it is, and they have their merch. You like, all right, you buy the album, you get the merch with it, or you can get the cassette tape with it, or the vinyl. So either are you gonna do like physical CDs and vinyls, or just
that's actually something that I'm planning on for next year. Is doing some physical, some like short run physical releases that it probably do some giveaways where some people will get one and they'll get some of the Master Sword Music merch and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's like, that's it. I think I'm gonna do it like I actually had a really cool idea that I think I'm gonna try that I wanted to try for next year is that when I release the CD, instead of putting it in like a regular CD case, I want to put it in like a game case.
I like it.
This is video game music. I want to drop it in maybe like a PlayStation 2 case or something, and then have the art in there, and then have the CD be in like a game type case.
Right.
Like that's something I want to do for like a giveaway next year. So that's something to keep your eyes open for that, because that's going to be coming.
That sounds cool, man. I like that, man. Like you instead of getting a regular CD case, you're getting a video game, actual case with it. Yeah, I think that's really cool, man. It's very creative if you think about it.
Yeah, man. I'm always cooking up ideas. So,
so my next question, man. I see, man. You do so many songs with different people. Would you ever do like a full collaboration album, whether it's the Master Sword Music family or someone else that you collaborated with?
I've thought about it, definitely. There's one of my, like I said, my boy Katetsu that's starting to get into production.
Okay.
That's something that me and him have been talking about, is possibly us doing a full project together.
Okay.
Of course, me and my wife will probably do something down the line. We'll probably do a full album together. It's actually her project next year. Actually, it's kind of close to that because I'm featured on that album quite a bit.
Okay.
So it's like it kind of felt like I was working on that project with her.
Okay.
Because I'm on like half of the songs on it. So, so like, yeah, I'm definitely interested in collabing more with other artists. Like, I've had a few ideas, and one idea that I can't talk about yet because it ain't fully come out yet. But I'm definitely interested in doing more collaboration projects because, like I said, one of my favorite things is working with other artists and giving other artists a chance to shine. So it's like that's kind of what next year is all about. It's like I want all of my artists to get their chance to do their thing, so they get their, so people can see that it's not just me. Like I am the leader and I am the main artist, but I also have my team that's with me, and so next year is really going to be the year for my team.
Okay, definitely, man, definitely. That's dope, man. Yeah, it's good to hear that. Because I often wonder, I said he does so many good collaborations with his artists and even other people. I was like, is he ever gonna do a full project, maybe with Kakesu or 1,000 Stars? Like, man, I often wondered that.
Yeah, and we'll probably be doing another Master Sword Music album soon too, with the whole family together. So that's something that's definitely in the future for sure, but definitely between the team.
Okay, definitely, man. So my next question for you, what was the process for All About You? What was so different compared to your other albums?
For this one, it's like I said, this one is like this one is probably my most personal album.
Okay.
Because I'm literally telling like a very, very personal story of mine. So like how I met the person that I'm with now, how we ended up getting married, and how we fell in love, all the drama that goes with that, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like I'm telling my 100% truth in this album. So I think that's what makes this one so different, because it connects with me on such a personal level. Because like when I first started, like I was just putting out music just to put it out, but I wasn't really putting myself out there like that. But you know, as I grew into this and started doing this more, I realized that like if I invest, people need to get invested in who you are before they get invested in what you do.
Yeah.
So I started sharing more of my life and telling my story a bit more. And with this album, it's like you're getting the raw, uncut truth of everything that I've been through in like the past year. Like this story takes place over like 2 years.
Okay.
So it's like the last 2 years of my life is just written in this album. And like I said, the video is telling a story. And the really cool thing that's going to make this album really, really dope when it's all over, when it's finished, we're going to be releasing a special video that connects all the videos together with additional scenes that are not in the current videos.
Wow.
So it plays out pretty much like a movie.
Wow, that's dope, man. Yeah, I wonder because I said, man, it seemed like with all these assets, is this gonna turn into like a movie thing?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, you once again you nailed it, bro. Yeah, when this project is over, we're going to be releasing a special video that has all the videos, and there are some additional scenes that were left out that'll help connect the threads of the story. Okay. So when the movie version of All About You drops, you'll get the full uncut project.
All right, so it's not gonna be named Director's Cut, is it?
Might be called Master Cut.
Master Cut, okay. Yeah, man. You see how they do now, man. They call it Director's Cut, even for the video games.
Oh man.
Like, hey, video games have Director's Cuts. I felt some type of way. I'm like, I'm used to movies, not video games.
Oh yeah, man. They're doing it everywhere now.
Yeah, so that's dope, man, for sure. Like, wow, like all this stuff. Yeah, because I wonder, because I said, man, it has a movie vibe to it when you listen to it, it's like, okay. And then when you see the videos, it's like, okay, this seems like it's going to turn into like a movie direction wise.
Yeah. On point, bro. You are on point.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that approach, man. Yeah, sometimes you got to step out the box, try new things.
That's another thing I think that makes this album special is that I'm doing something that I've never really done before. Like this musically, this is probably some of the most different music that I've made.
Right.
Like the video wise, presentation wise, like making the whole thing a movie. Like I just wanted to try something different just to see how people will receive it. And so far, like I said, it's been being received quite well. The videos are doing amazing. The streamings are doing this is probably my most successful project at launch. Like it's already doing numbers that are better than some of my older albums that have been out much longer. So it's like when I first dropped this album, I was actually really nervous because it's so different than what I normally do.
Right.
So it's like I don't know how people are going to take it or they're going to receive it well, but thank goodness that it seems to be working out pretty well so far.
Yeah, because sometimes fans, when they see something that you're doing new, they may not gravitate towards it right away. And you're like, oh man, like what did I do wrong? Because you're
I want the way you used to do it. Like I want the old you. Like where's the old TJ? Like that stuff. So like I was really worried about something like that because like I said, this is so different than like if you listen to any of my other albums, they don't sound anything like All About You, and that's kind of why the name change is different. Because most of my other albums, The Legend of TJ, blah 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 blah, The Legend of TJ, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Like that's kind of like my regular album series.
Right.
Because I'm a big Legend of Zelda fan, of course.
Right.
But with this album, it just didn't really fit into that Legend of Zelda mode, the Legend of TJ mode.
Right.
So like that's why it has a completely different name than any of the other projects because it's really different. Yeah. So like I just wanted to let it have its own time. But next year, I will be returning to the Legend of TJ series. That'll be my next album coming out next year. I'll be returning to that series.
Okay, because I figured that it was like a standout. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like how you said, where it's like with your series of albums, Legend of TJ, and that's like, it works though. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing something different when it comes down to it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, my next question for you is there any new producers that you're working with that we're unaware of?
Actually, yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up actually, because on this project, there's a song called If I'm Not With You. I believe it's number 7 on the album. That song was actually produced by my stepson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Zap Crystal's son, actually, he's getting into music production.
Yeah.
And he actually produced that song. One day we was just sitting in the house. I was, at the computer doing my thing. And he was at his computer doing his thing. And he played me the beat for that song.
Wow.
And I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, you need to send me that right now. And he sent that beat over to me, and I literally recorded that song that day. Like it's actually the first person. It's the first time I've actually recorded to somebody else's beat.
Wow.
Everything else that you've heard from me has been my own production. So he is the first person that I've actually done outside production for. Yeah, so
Wow.
my stepson, he did "If I'm Not With You" is song number 7 on the album, and he did
Wow.
an amazing job with that beat. And
That's dope. Dang. Wow, man. That reminds me of Swiss Beats Son making this song for Kendrick Lamar on that Untitled, man. That's crazy.
yeah, it was wild. Like when I heard it, I was completely blown away, and it fitted what I needed for the project so well. So I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, go ahead and give me that. So you'll probably hear some more from him in the
Okay.
future. Like I said, my boy Katetsu, he's getting in production now. He actually produced some of the stuff from Zap's album.
Okay.
His project that's coming out, he
Yeah.
produced everything on it. Like
Okay.
that next project is all his production. It's going to feature each of the members of Master Sword Music.
Okay.
It's going to be more like an EP mixtape type project.
Okay.
But he did all the beats for that one. So I got a song on there. He has a song on there. Zap has a song on there. Everybody's doing a song to one of his beats. So you'll be hearing a lot of production from him.
Okay.
And there's some other people that I'm looking at as well as getting some outside production as well. So that you may hear some other songs where I'm doing production for other producers. So
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. Wow. That shows you that some people are just musically inclined, man. Some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love nurturing those gifts because like each one of the people that I chose for this group are people that I just saw potential in. Like when I first met Thousand Star, he actually didn't rap at all.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't start rapping until my very first album. I'm the first person he's ever done music with.
Wow.
So, like,
wow.
We met a long time ago through Twitter, and I was like, I had a group of people that I would send my music to like kind of give me like an idea of what they thought of it. And I sent this one song, and he was like, "Man, like I don't know why, but for some reason I really want to get on this song with you, and I want to try something out. Would you mind if I try it?" I was like, "Sure, man, go ahead."
Okay.
First time ever rapping. It's a song called Joy-Con on my very first project.
Okay.
And the first time he ever rapped in his entire life.
Wow.
And I heard it and I'm like, dude, this is like your first time? Like your first time? Like my first rap was nowhere near as good as this. I'm like, it's crazy how he just started off like that. So ever since then, I was like, yeah, man, you with me now. So he's like one of the oldest members of Master Sword Music. That was like 2 years ago.
I figured
he's been with me from the beginning. He's like the oldest member of the group so far. So like,
yeah, I figured that you had known Thousand Star for quite a while. Wow,
yeah, me and him go back a few years now. But like, I was the person that got him into doing music, and like, he's only been rapping for 2 years. And like, if you listen to Monado, you'd be like I told him the other day, I was like, Monado's one of my favorite verses from you, bro. Like you did your thing on Monado, and he's only been rapping for 2 years.
Dang. Wow, man, that's crazy. I guess you just was the perfect fit. It's like, hey, you know.
Like it was just these things, just like each one of the members that I've met in some like crazy way. Yeah. And like we just link up, and the next thing you know, we're just doing things. Like with Katetsu, we met through a podcast that he used to do with another group. And I was featured on that podcast, and he was like, "Oh man, I love your music, and I love what you're doing, and I would like to do something with you one day." And then me and him end up doing a song together, and then he ends up joining the group. Wow. My boy VG's actually been doing music for a long time.
Okay.
So me and him met through a song that I did for him on his channel.
Okay.
And then later on, I asked him to do a joint with me on my album, and then we became friends, and then he joins the team.
Wow.
Most people didn't even know that my wife Crystal was even a singer at all.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because she known for doing her retro gaming thing on her channel. She does like mostly retro gaming and that kind of stuff. But through me and her becoming friends, I actually found out that her family is like musical. Like her dad is like a pretty famous musician in Puerto Rico. Like he's a guitar player, and he's dropped albums, and like her whole family has just been musical. And she's just never told anybody about it. So I was like, "You're doing music with me." So I kind of forced her to come back out into it. So when her project comes out, it'll be her first time doing music in like years and years.
Wow, that's
like,
dope, man.
So it's like I build these connections with people, and we kind of mold together. We've all just kind of become a family. Like we have a group chat where we pretty much talk every single day to each other. And we're like, all right, this is what we're working on. And this is, we've really become like a family. That's why I call them the Master Sword Music family.
Family, right.
Because like, they're really like my brothers and sisters, man. Like we work hard together, and we came together to try to build something different. So
yeah. Yeah, man, just aligning with people. That's all it really is, bro. You aligning with people that naturally match your energy or frequency. That is working though. Wow. Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, because I thought Zap, like you said before, I'm like, oh, she just do retro gaming. But then when I heard, I said, oh, she do music too. I did not know that.
Yeah, it was actually featured on 2 songs on my album, which I can't wait for those videos to come out because those are really good too.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like she's gotten to the point now where she was like, hey, I think I want to do a whole project now. So the funny thing is, we're talking about how All About You was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Her album is actually kind of like a part 2 to All About You.
I wonder.
It's basically her story from her perspective. So you get to see in All About You, you get to see my side of the story and how I see everything. And then when her project comes out, it'll be the same story, but from her perspective. So our 2 albums are actually going to connect together.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I said, is he going to do a sequel album where we get her half? Wow.
Yep, that's pretty much what her project is all about. Is her telling her part of the story from her end. So,
okay. Yeah,
I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's coming out in the beginning of next year, so that's going to be
next year. Okay, yeah, I was wondering. As I said, man, I wonder. Okay, he's got his album. Like, are we going to hear her angle on it?
Yep, that's coming soon. And man, if you think All About You was impressive, like her album it's pretty much already done at this point.
Okay.
Like we're pretty much just going to be going into filming soon for that.
Okay.
But, man, like it's probably some of our best work at Master Sword Music. Like for real, it's gonna be something special.
Okay, yeah, that's dope, man. I mean, it's dope that you guys how well you work together. She's directing stuff. You're doing the music. She also does music. I mean, that's great, man. You have someone that you could work with.
Yeah, that's my partner for life right there.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Like we help each other. Like some of the videos that's coming out on her channel, I've actually been helping her with as well. Like you'll see me featured on some of her videos, like the RPG videos. I've actually done some editing for some of her videos.
Okay.
Of course, the podcast that she does, I'm a big part of. You know, the Reset and Snap podcast. So like we just become a team now. So it's like it's hard to see one without the other now. So it's just like we've kind of become like a unit at this point.
Right, yeah, it's a team, man, the dream team.
Yeah, man, it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, so that's great, man. Definitely, wow. Yeah, so my next question for you, are you gonna do eventually? I know you talked about releasing more music. Are you gonna do like a tour across the states eventually? Like, you know,
I would love to. That is like I said, that's one of my big goals is to start doing concerts. Like I definitely want to do some concerts. That's like the ultimate dream is to be able to perform my music live with my team. Like have us all together and just like, start doing shows and stuff. Like like I said, there's a possibility that something come. I can't necessarily fully go into it yet, but there's a possibility that I'll have something my first live performance next year at a gaming convention. So I'm really hoping that works through the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
That is the dream, man. I eventually I just want to be able to do shows and have my music featured in video games and just like have this whole thing just grow out into something else.
Yeah, that's great, man. Oh, she said she's proud of you, hubby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Zach. Yeah, so that's dope, man. Because you know what? I forgot. I should mention this to you. I don't know. Do you go to cons very often?
I started this year, actually. This is the first year I've because my wife's Zap Crystal, she's like, doing her thing in the YouTube space, Capcom creator, Xbox ambassador. Like, so we're always out at these different cons that she has to go to for like appearances and stuff. So this has been the first year I've really been to cons.
Wow.
So it's like, I've been to like, 4 or 5 cons this year.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Some of the cons they have like the rave, and I know if you ever come to Michigan, they have YumaCon. They have people performing there, bro. If you ever come to YumaCon, you might want to see if you can, be a part of that because people do perform their music there too. I've seen it.
Yeah, some of the cons here they have that like live performances.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Like I said, this is my first year really going to cons, so I didn't even know that was a thing. But one of the big cons that we went to, it was Classic Game Fest. We went to last year. They actually have like a whole like floor with like a stage and everything, and like just they just have performances all day long. So like I didn't even know that was really a thing. So I started networking, and I've met a lot of people in the con circus now. Thank you, wifey. And so yeah, I'm looking. That's something that that looks like a pretty good future for Master Sword Music. Is that might become a thing now.
Yeah, because the cons, I like that they do that, because like if your music hasn't been heard, you can get exposure there by the communities that are gaming, anime, whatever it is.
Exactly, and that is my core audience, is gamers. Like that's the whole tagline for Master Sword Music is music for gamers.
Right.
So it's like that's kind of what my audience is. So I think the cons are going to be where things really start going for us.
Okay. So my next question for you: would you ever do a documentary from like where you started with Master Sword until now, or in the future?
I would. That's you know what? That's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I've done something similar to that in the past where I've done it. It's been more like focused around the projects, like how did this project come to be, and how did these songs, and what did they come from, and all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of my music has like hidden meanings and secrets to it that a lot of people don't know about. So like, but I would love to do like a whole history of Master Sword Music thing. That would be really. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, because people don't know the story, how you met each person throughout the Master Sword Collective, the family itself. So yeah, that would be dope.
I'm actually writing that idea down because that's really cool.
Yeah, it really is, because I see that sometimes with artists, they do that where they have a documentary where they started, how they met certain artists, how they got the exposure, maybe their first hit song and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You always wonder, like, how do they meet certain people? You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I would love to do that. That's actually a great idea because there's so many good stories that I could tell.
Yeah.
Oh man, like back, like I'll let one go today, but this is actually before me and Zap Crystal became a thing. I've kind of had a crush on her for a long time.
Okay.
a lot of people don't know this, but like,
for
the longest time, me and her were just friends, and she was just somebody I knew from YouTube, but I had the biggest crush on her.
Okay.
And I was using my music as a way to hint to her that I had a thing for her, because she's a really big 3DS collector.
Okay.
Like she probably has I think it's like 400 games in her 3DS collection at this point. Like she's really big on the 3DS. So on a previous album, I did a song called 3DS.
Right.
Where I talk about I use the references from games that I know she's played and that I know she's enjoys as kind of like a way to hint, like, hey, something going on here,
Okay, so you a smooth operator with it. You was like, all right, we use these last.
like I know you like this game, so let me talk about this game. I know you played this game, so let me talk about this game as a way to tell her without really telling her what's going on.
Right.
So like, yeah. I got tons of stories like that about all of my music. Like it's a lot that goes behind the scenes to creating what I create.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, that's a cool way of doing it, man. You're not giving the full hint, but you're giving the hint. Like, all right, maybe they'll see this.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I thought she didn't notice. Like at first, she was giving me the cold shoulder for the longest time, and then like later on, I found out. Yeah, I knew you was talking about me. I got it. But like she would not let me know for nothing. She was just giving me that cold shoulder for the longest time. I was like, man.
Yeah. Well, things worked out, so
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that'd be dope, seeing the documentary and just learning about y'all past history, whether it's Styles and Star, Kotetsu, Zap, and even other people that you've collaborated with. Yeah, I think that'd be
that's going in the books. I'm putting that in my notepad right now. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So my next question for you is what was I gonna ask you? So the thing is with the not just with the music. So you have went global this year. How do you feel about that, man? It
has been amazing. Like the first time I saw it, I was just completely blown away. Like, and it started in the weirdest of all places. It started somewhere where I never expected it to start. Okay. Like towards the beginning, I think it was like the middle of the year. I dropped I can't remember exactly what song it was, but out of nowhere, I was checking my streaming numbers through like Spotify and all of that
Right.
stuff, and I started seeing a lot of numbers coming from Russia.
Wow.
I was like, what?
You're right.
Like, what is like? It was like Russia. It was like my second highest. Of course, United States is my highest streaming market, but for the longest time, Russia was number 2.
Wow.
Like, I was like, wow, like people in Russia are listening to my music. Like, what? Like, how did that even happen?
Right.
Like, it was the weirdest thing. But then, like, over time, I started seeing Japan, and Canada, and the UK,
Right.
and I'm just like, wow, like my music is really being listened to internationally.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an international artist. Like,
yeah, you're an international artist, man.
yeah, like I mean, like it is what it is. Like, I'm international. It's like it took a long time for me to actually accept that. Like, that's wow. So now it's like, of course, like I said, United States is my biggest market.
Right.
Japan is at number 2.
Okay.
Canada is number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
Russia is number 4.
Okay.
And 5 is actually Australia.
Wow. Wow.
No idea how that happened, but I'm getting plays like all over the world now, and I'm just like, the numbers have just really been coming in. It's just like total overall, we've done we're getting close to breaking 500,000 streams.
Wow, that's great, man. Congrats.
We're coming up on it. We're like at 400 something now.
Okay.
Total streams through, that's total streams throughout all my music on different platforms.
Wow.
But we're really getting close to hitting that 500,000, and I'm looking forward to hitting that next year. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's great, man. Wow. Yeah, because I said, man, he's global now.
Yeah, it is crazy, bro. I'm like, what? Who in Russia is listening to TJ the Gamer? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, if people like who you are, they're gonna be willing to check out the music or your YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man.
Yeah, I think YouTube really helped me a lot with that.
Yeah.
Because YouTube has their own music platform as well, which is actually my third biggest music streaming platform is YouTube Music now.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, Spotify is number 1.
Okay.
Like, of course, it's the biggest music platform, so it makes sense that Spotify is my biggest platform.
Yeah.
Apple Music is number 2.
Okay.
And then 3 is YouTube Music, and then 4 is Amazon.
Okay.
And I forgot what 5 is. I can't remember what 5 is, but
okay.
Right now, as of right now, Spotify is like where most of my listeners listen to me at.
Okay. Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, it does feel sometimes surreal when you find out people listen to your music from different places. I know for me, I'm not a musician. India is one of the places where people listen to me the most on my channel.
It's like what?
I'm like, India? Outside the US? Like the US is number 1. India's number 2. I think Canada's like number 3 or 4.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But what really got me though is when I started, like I said, I've been going to these cons lately. Yeah. And when I was first going to these cons, Zap was the star. So it's like everybody, that's Zap Crystal's husband. That's pretty much kind of been the thing for a while. But one of the last cons I went to, like somebody came up to me and was like, "Oh, you're TJ the Gamer, right? Like, dude, I love your music, man. I've been listening." I'm like, what? Like, to have somebody like physically come up to me and recognize me for what I'm doing was like, that's when I realized that things are really starting to like grow for me.
Take off. Yeah.
I'm like, we're starting to do something, man, because people are like, "Hey, you're TJ the Gamer, man. I love your music. I love the videos you did, man." I'm like, wow, like that is a different kind of feeling when somebody calls you out in public like that. Like that's that hit me right here, man.
Right. Definitely, man. Yeah, that's great, man. Like I said, the global thing and how that's set up for the different platforms. Yeah, because even like I said, with me finding out, I was like, I got people checking out my stuff from India. I was like, that's crazy. Like I knew the US, but
yeah, like you figure like you would assume that it's just all here. Like nobody else. How would anybody outside this country even like have any idea that I exist? But that's the cool thing about the time that we live in now is that these platforms are international platforms. Like YouTube is available across the world. Spotify is available across the world. Like we have that kind of reach now, and if somebody finds it and they like it, they'll gravitate to it. Like when my Japan audience started growing, I was like really surprised. Like they love Japan loved the remixes. Like,
Yeah, I think they're like a lot of the video games, and then even your music incorporates video games too with the lyrics. I think that's what it is.
it is. Yeah, like Japan has been it's been
Yeah,
probably one of my biggest growing audiences. Like they've been growing quick. Like at first they went from not being on there to being like number 2, and it's constantly growing and growing and growing. I'm just like,
yeah.
man, I'm making make that trip to Japan one day.
So, what is your biggest achievement for this year, man? If you have
My
to think about
biggest achievement for this year.
it. Yeah.
I've had quite a few. This has been a big year for Master
Okay.
Sword. Like
Okay.
this is like one of the big ones that we hit. We hit 500 subscribers this year.
Okay.
That was one of the ones that we hit this year.
Okay.
So I was really happy about that because
Yeah.
I took about a 6-month break
Okay.
for a while, so I was gone for quite a bit. And
Yeah.
then when I came back, I was like, man, I got to rebuild and start all over.
Right.
But the moment I came back, a lot of people were showing me love. Like that's when me and you met, and
Right.
you started showing me love, and I started meeting the people
Yeah.
from our content creator group, and
Right.
like all like out of nowhere, I built like a whole new audience. Like because I had
Right.
been gone for so long that my original audience, I pretty much was like, oh yeah, I guess he's not coming back type thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like when I came back, I pretty much had to start from ground zero all over again. And
Oh wow.
so to be able to hit 500 subscribers in basically a year
Yeah.
was a phenomenal feat. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, we hit over 400,000 streams of
Right.
music. Like
Mhm.
that was an incredible feat. I'm just like, wow, 400,000 streams. Like it's crazy.
400,000. Yeah.
Yeah, between YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, I've hit about. It's probably actually more than that because
Mhm.
I'm on other platforms that I don't have access to, like iHeartRadio or
Right.
Pandora. So it's like I don't even get numbers for those.
Okay.
So it's like it could be like a lot higher than I even realized. And then like YouTube Music, of course, is a big one. Amazon
Right.
Music is a big one. I'm actually just started getting numbers for Amazon Music,
Okay.
and I didn't realize that many people actually use Amazon Music,
I do, bro.
but
I use Amazon Music.
I got quite a few listeners that I get from Amazon Music. So I'm like, because
Yeah.
it took a while for me to actually get access to my analytics for Amazon Music.
Right.
So when I finally did, I'm checking it out. I'm like, wow, like
Yeah.
I had a couple of thousand streams
Yeah.
on Amazon Music. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, when I'm not listening to you on YouTube, I listen to you on Amazon Music. Yeah, I'm mainly on Amazon Music, but like when you put out music on YouTube, I'll check it out, or your videos that way too. But yeah, Apple Music is not great anymore. Like,
Not like it used to be. It's
yes.
definitely not as good as it used to be, for sure.
Yeah, so I was like, man, because even when I tried to download it on this computer that I got now, it had like a lot of bad reviews. I'm like,
It's
yeah.
unless you have an iPhone, Apple Music, it really isn't that great.
You telling the
Like
truth?
trying to use it from a computer or something like that, it's just like unless you have an iPhone, Apple Music isn't like the best.
Right.
So it's really geared towards Apple users. Like Apple Music is really geared towards Apple users, but there are a lot of Apple users. So like you get,
Right.
like I said, it's my second biggest platform is Apple Music. So
Right.
because
Yeah.
so many iPhone users are out there. So
That's
it's like,
true. Yeah.
but then, like I said, you got Spotify, which is pretty much available on anything.
Anything, yeah.
You know,
Spotify.
iPhone, Android, computer, tablet,
Right.
readers, watches. Like it don't even TV. Like you can get Spotify on anything.
Anything.
So it's
Yeah.
like
That's
they kind of took over because Apple Music probably was the number one platform for a while until Spotify came along.
right.
But Spotify really Spotify is like the go-to place for music now because they do music. They also do podcasts. Like you can pretty much get everything from Spotify now. So like they really musically, like Spotify is pretty much the place to go now.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, you know what you mentioned, Master Music, I went through that with the subscribers. Some of my old subscribers stopped checking out the stuff, and I don't know what exactly happened. So sometimes you do have to start over when it comes down to it, and eventually you'll find more people. I think the first reason was more so the name. They were used to the old channel name, but a lot of people love Ill Blurred, so it's like people like the name is appealing, it's different, it's unique. And I think that's what it was for me. It's like, oh, we love the name, but then there were some people who are, I don't like this new name. I don't like where it's going now. It's like, well,
yeah, it's funny you say that because a similar thing happened to me because Master Sword Music actually wasn't the original name of the channel.
what?
Yeah, when I first started, because like when I first started, it was just me. So like the channel was just called TJ the Gamer.
Oh,
Was
wow.
was the name of the original channel.
Okay.
But then later on, when I decided to come back, I came up with this idea of wanting to make it more than just me and wanted to like build like pretty much a music label. It's basically Master Sword Music. I think of it as a music label.
Music label, right?
So it's like when I came up with that idea for Master Sword Music, and then I started adding members to that group, and as we grew and grew, the Master Sword Music thing kind of blew up to the point where some people think Master Sword Music is my name. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it's Master Sword Music. You're Master Sword Music, right?" Like, yeah, I am Master Sword Music, but my name is actually TJ.
TJ
Like,
the Gamer.
TJ the Gamer is actually my artist name. Like when you look me up on like music platforms, it's TJ the Gamer.
Yeah, it is.
And Master Sword Music is kind of like the label name.
Yeah, the label.
But it's become so synonymous with me that like that's what people call me now. Oh, hey, Master Sword Music, how you doing, man?
They think you got an alter ego.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you Master Sword Music, ain't you? I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I'm Master Sword Music. That's fine.
Right. And look, they think you like T.I. or somebody who got alter ego. Like, what
Yeah, T.I. and Tip. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting, man. Yeah, because you wonder if people like kind of can tell the differences between two. It's like, hey, is he this one? Is he that one? You know.
It took me a long time for people to like really get. I'm like, yeah, Master Sword Music is the name of the channel and the name of the label, but I am TJ. Like, but if some people still to this day call me Master Sword Music, so it's just at this point I just rock with it.
Right.
So apparently the name caught on. So
yeah, it's like that Kendrick Lamar verse. Remember that name.
Yeah, remember that name.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, yeah, the old name. Reason why I got rid of my old name, it was like weird because I was sharing it with somebody a while back, and the other thing was people just couldn't get the concept behind the name. It was like, this is not working. I remember explaining it to people, like what the letters stood for, and I was like, nah,
this ain't working.
It's not working anymore. Because I have to sit and explain this. I'm like, nah. Yeah, so I went with something a little bit different because that was the issue I had with it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people loved the new name. Some people hated it or disagreed with it, but it's like, well, it's catchy. I got more people to check out stuff.
Yeah, it's working for me. So
right.
Exactly. Like I said, the Master Sword Music thing kind of just caught on, and like it was like I wanted something to like kind of to let people know what it was about. So like, of course, the Master Sword being a video game reference, so people get that it's video game music, Master Sword Music, and of course, everybody knows me as the the Zelda guy.
Right.
Everybody knows that I'm like the biggest Zelda fan ever. So like, it just kind of fit like the Master Sword Music, Zelda, like. So I just wanted something that people, when you hear it, you kind of get an idea of what it's about. So, oh, Master Sword is music. It's Master Sword and it's music. So that's video games and music. Okay, like, okay, I get it. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what fit. And people just kind of like got attached to me being the Zelda guy now. So it's like, like, oh yeah, anytime something Zelda happens, everybody always asks me about it. Like the Nintendo announcement about the movie. When was that? Everybody, oh, TJ, what do you think? I know you're the Zelda guy. What do you think about this movie? Like I knew everybody been hitting me up about this thing. So it's
okay.
Like,
so my next question for you, Master Sword Music, is pretty much, what is something that you're good at that no one knows that you're really good at? Like we would never expect, like besides music or producing.
Something that I'm really good at that people don't know about.
Yeah. It could be cooking. It could be.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's cooking. Actually,
cooking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually quite the chef in the kitchen.
Okay.
Like I be chefing it up, man. That's my thing. Like, I love it. It's actually something that I really enjoy to do quite a bit.
Okay.
Where I like to experiment and try things and like, all right, let me do this. Let me see if I can make this, or what if I did it like this kind of thing. And I really, really enjoy cooking. So that's definitely a big one for me that
Okay.
I really, really enjoy.
Okay.
And another thing that people don't know that I'm really into
Okay.
is a history. I'm
Wow.
actually I'm a big history buff. I love
Okay.
history. I love going to like museums.
Okay.
Like there's in Texas, there's like all the in Texas is actually a really, really cool one. They actually have a video game museum.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amazing place. You get to see like all these old consoles and old video games and like old video game technology. And like when my wife took me there for the first time,
Yeah.
like I was completely blown away. Like they got old Ataris and like had
Yeah.
the old Zelda board game and like they
Wow.
got all this cool like video game history stuff. And
That's
in
dope.
this one corner, they had a thing called video game music.
Okay.
So they had a history of like video game music. So I was in there like it was nothing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really into history stuff though, because it's like yeah, the George Bush Museum here. There's a science museum here, and it's just
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Was it Princess Sasha? She did a video and I remember
Yeah,
going and I was like, dang, that's dope. They have something like that in Texas.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of they have a lot of like history type museums and stuff like that in Texas, and
Yeah.
it's something that I recently got out. Like I didn't even notice about myself, honestly. But when I first moved here, my wife, she's into all that kind of stuff. Like
Okay.
as soon as I moved here, she wanted to take me to every single site that Texas had. So I started going to these museums, and I'm just like falling in love with this stuff. And I'm like, man, seeing this, like they had the 9/11 museum, and I was checking that out, the history of that, and like everything that I was like, man, I fell in love with that stuff. So like I found out that I'm a big history guy, man. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, cooking, I can agree with you on that, TJ. I love cooking too, experimenting. Let me see what seasons I can add to it to make it unique. And
Exactly. Like I learned how to cook out of necessity because after I moved out of home, it was either learn how to cook or eat out. So I just started putting stuff together and figuring stuff. I kind of taught myself and just now I just kind of that's how I cook now. Where I grab something and I just start throwing stuff together.
Yeah, try to see what works.
Yeah, next thing I know it, I got a meal and it's like, oh, this is pretty good. It was pretty good to me, but then sometimes I started cooking for my family here because I got my wife and my son here. And they're eating up everything that I make. I'm just like, oh man,
wow.
I'm actually pretty good at this. Because when it's just me, I like it, but I don't know if anybody else is gonna like it.
Okay.
Apparently they love my cooking because
yeah, that's a good thing, man. Yeah, if people love your cooking, man, that's a good thing because if they don't like it, they're gonna let you know. Like
exactly, that plate gonna be a little full. You gonna be like, yeah, it was pretty good. It's okay.
Yeah, cooking is one for me. Outside of content creating and golf, like I'm actually good.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I never would have guessed that. That's wow.
Yeah, golf is therapeutic. I mean, you're just hitting the putt.
I've always wanted to try it. I've never tried it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a stress reliever. I was with my friends. It's like back in high school, and my friends were amazed. Like, you're really good at golf. I'm like, yeah, I never knew.
That's dope. That's cool. And I like stuff like that outside stuff that because you gotta have that separation from what you do on a daily basis. Like,
yeah,
it's because people ask me all the time, like, now that you do this like content stuff, like, can you is playing games the same for you? Like, does it ruin the experience for you and stuff like that?
Right.
And I'm like, not really, but it does make my mind go sometimes. Like I said, I'll be playing the game and I'll hear a song and I'll be like, oh, all right, hold on, we write this down real quick. We can do it. And it's like, man. But now I still enjoy gaming quite a bit. Even though that's kind of what I do now, but it's good to have something outside of your content that you can enjoy so you can kind of separate yourself for a little bit.
Yeah, art is another thing for me too. Art, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's in film or movies. I'm a big movie, TV show type of person anyway.
Oh yeah, I know.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, but golf, that one did surprise me. I was like, man, if I would have kept going with this, could have been the next Tiger Woods.
That's what's up though, man. I never would have guessed that. That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, man. Yeah, but that's dope, man, that you are into history. I am too, man. I'm into history. I have some of the history documentaries and stuff. But yeah, man, history's another good one too. I even got some books dealing with history as well. So yeah. Yep. So my next question for you is your YouTube goals. So what are some of your YouTube goals before this year is out?
I pretty much already hit a lot of the goals that I wanted to hit. Like I said,
Okay.
getting past that 500 because that took me quite a bit.
Okay.
Hey Aries, what's good, bro? But for the end of the year, I just want to end the year strong. Like I said, we're ending the year with the first half of All About You. So those videos will continue to be coming out, and then starting next year, we'll do the second half of that album. But I want to just end the year strong, man. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. Like I said, we got a lot of remixes coming out. The rest of All About You album, I got some more complete series album that's gonna be coming out. Like it's just working on just trying to diversify my content and just give the people what they want. So it's like I'm already pretty happy with how the year's gone. So I just want to continue to end it strong.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So my next question for you is that is there an album that you're working on, whether like it's a genre that we haven't heard just yet, or something that's completely experimental?
My my next project that'll be coming out next year. My next solo project, is going to be very interesting. It's I'm going for, because this album I kind of leaned more into like the R&B, like singy, songy, love song type stuff on this album. With the next album, I'm going back to my roots and getting straight into some good old fashioned 90s hip hop. Like it's going to be a straight hip hop classic album. Like I'm going to be going back to spitting bars and going for that 90s hip hop feel that I like, because I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up on that 80s and 90s hip hop. So like my next project that's going to be coming out next year is going to be really focused on that, and it's going to be me really showing people how much I really like rap, because most people know me for like the R&B type stuff and like the love songs type stuff. What a lot of people don't know is that I am a huge hip hop head. And this next album I'm dropping next year is going to let people know that I'm here with the rapping too.
That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. So for me, this is one question I always wonder: what is your Mount Rushmore of rappers? Like, if you had to look at rappers that influence you.
It's always a tough one. Mount Rushmore. Well, we already know one. It's Andre 3000. I absolutely love Andre 3000.
Good
one. One of my favorite rappers of all time will always be my man Jay-Z. Like he's the consistency and the amount of time that he's been able to stay in the rap game is just absolutely phenomenal. Like he's done something that I wish I hope I could be in the game as long as him, because like he just an absolutely phenomenal artist. One of my other favorite rappers, let's see, Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna have to go with 50 Cent. I was a big 50 fan. And when he came out, the way he came out, like he was one of the few artists that just came out and just blew up immediately. That first album came and he was just dogging it. Like it was crazy how well he did for that first project, and he's managed to like stay relevant for so long and just like made some incredible music.
50's been for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. This is so hard. So Andre, we got Jay, got 50. So I got two more for my Rushmore. This is so hard. I'm gonna go with Jadakiss. I'm gonna go with Jadakiss. When it came to like pure rappers, like you can't get any purer than Jada. Like he's a rapper's rapper. Like he just get on the track and he just rap. Like he's always gonna give you something good, and it's just he's a pretty big influence on me as far as like my production style and like my delivery style. Is a lot of stuff is based on Jadakiss. So like I definitely have to give him his respect. One more. This is so hard because I love hip hop so much. This is so hard.
Take your time, man.
This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. I'm not counting Biggie and I'm not counting Tupac because they're just in a different. They're in a different league.
Okay.
They're like they're just like the goats. Like there's just people that just you just can't put into a category, and like those two are just like Of course, it's too easy. It's like of course Biggie, of course Tupac, of course. So I'm trying to go with the ones that like are more specific to me.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go with Nas.
That's a good one. I'm
gonna have to go with Nas. Because of his storytelling ability.
Yeah.
Like his ability to paint a picture and tell a story.
Yeah.
Is
phenomenal.
Unparalleled. Like I that was a big influence on me on being able to tell a story through music. Like Nas, when you hear Nas rap, you can see yourself where
you can see what he's saying.
You're like, I know exactly what I'm there.
Right.
But like Nas is a big one. He's just an incredible MC just together. His delivery, his flow, like he can get on any beat and just do his thing, no matter what. So like I gotta give it to the boy Nas.
Man. That's an interesting Mount Rushmore, man. For sure.
And it's so hard for me, man, because it's I listen to so much music that is just like because like of course there's artists like Eminem, like I love him. He's dope. Like it's so many other artists out there that I could have mentioned. Like I love Pusha T. He's another one I'm a big fan of.
Nice.
Pusha's dope. I'll say one of my favorite underrated rappers of all time. I have two of them actually. Two underrated rappers who are absolutely fantastic in my opinion is Fabulous. I love Fabulous.
Yeah, Fabulous.
And Pat Poose.
Good choices. I like them choices.
Pat Poose is severely underrated and one of the best. And as far as like another one that's really big for me that I really enjoy, and I don't feel like he gets the credit he deserves is Black Thought.
Yes.
Black Thought is a monster. He's a lyrical monster.
He's like the East Coast Andre, but he put out albums and EPs.
Yeah, exactly. Like he don't show people what he could do. Like I get mad with him sometimes. I'm like, dude, you could kill the game right now. You could take this over. Like, just do it. But Black Thought is like severely underrated, but like one of the most lyrical rappers of all time. Like he's just the words he put together, his delivery, his connection, his vocabulary. Like, he's out of here, man.
He's nice on the features too, man.
My god! Oh my god! So good, so good. And all right, I'm gonna give. I see. I could keep going, but my favorite female rapper of all time, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Lauryn Hill, like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of my favorite albums, of all time. Like she was singing, rapping, like she was just so multifaceted. But like as a rapper goes, she was, she bad. She bad.
Yeah, she bad with it. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are some good rap choices, man.
I told you, I'm a hip hop head, man. I love my hip hop.
I see. So my next question I want to ask you: when did you know your music was going to take off? Was it like a song, or maybe just an album?
For me, it happened when people really like first started to take notice. But what I was doing is I want to say it's my I got so much music. I got to remember what album it was on. I think it's my second album. Legend of TJ Bars of the Wild.
Okay.
It's a song I did on there called Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Where it's like I'm basically using all Final Fantasy references throughout the entire song. So like it's one of the first times like my song had a theme.
Okay.
So like most of the time I would just be rapping and just spitting video game bars. But this is the whole time I took a song and like focused the whole song around the theme. And that Final Fantasy song is when people really started paying attention. Like that's when it really people like, oh, like that's really dope. Like people
Okay.
started to find out that I was a big RPG head. Like that RPGs are like my favorite genre of video games.
Right.
So like people when
Okay.
people started realizing like what I'm really into this RPG thing, because I was doing deep cut references that like if you don't play Final Fantasy, you're probably not going to get some of these
Get it
references.
right. That's dope, man. Yeah, man. That's a good thing. Yeah, man. Sometimes all you need is that particular community for sure.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give a shout out to Thousand Star for that one.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that told me that I needed to like. He's the one that taught me about theming my songs around something specific. Like, cause he does it in all of his verses. If you pay attention to his verses, they're all themed around something specific. Like one of the songs we did together, it was based on like Pokemon references. And his entire verse was nothing but water type Pokemon. So if you're not paying attention, you don't catch it. But he's naming all water types, and it all connects to his final line where he's talking about a waterfall. So it's like, oh, that's so dope. So like he was the one that really taught me about like theming, like take a theme and just like build the whole song around that theme. So shout out to Thousand Star for that.
Thousand Star, you to go, man.
That's people don't know. That's my A&R dude right there. Like that is the realest dude I know. Cause like when I'm working on music, like I'll send it to him and be like, hey, tell me what you think of this, what you think of that. Cause try to, get everybody's opinion. He's the first one that'll be, if he don't like something, he'll let me know. He'll be like, hey, TJ, I don't know about this one, man. You might want to try something a little different, maybe attack it differently, maybe come at it, but it ain't. I know you could do better than that kind of thing. Like I've heard you do stuff better than this, so like I want you to do better.
He's
so
like he's like a Dr. Dre or a Club Daddy. Like, hey, look, I don't like this. You gotta do it this way.
Yeah, he's definitely that, and I really appreciate that because it pushes me to always do better. And now, like when I make music, I got his voice in my head now.
Yeah, right.
Like, man, do that verse harder than that, man. That verse is good, but you can come harder than that. So now when I send him stuff, he's like, all right, cool. All right, cool. Because I already know what he's gonna say before he even says it. So it's like, wow, man. I definitely appreciate, and that's kind of why I picked the team that I picked. Because they all push me in a different way. Like I said, Thousand Star pushes me with my delivery and like my theming and stuff like that. Okay. My wife, she pushes me with like trying to do things differently and attack them differently instead of doing everything the same way. Right. My man VG always challenges me to be like on the hip hop side because VG is also a really big hip hop head. Okay. Biggest Wu-Tang fan ever. Like he loves some Wu-Tang. Like that is his joint right there. Okay. And so he really pushes me on the hip hop side. Okay. And like my man Katetsu, he's always pushing me to like try to like do things that I know to like outside of the box from like the normal way of attacking things. So like I put them around me because they all push me to be better.
That's really good. Yeah, bro. You gotta have people around you that's gonna push you in different areas in your life. And yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, we all need somebody to kind of say, hey, look, you need to do it this way. Maybe you could, try this out.
And it takes a lot to be able to understand that too, because some people would take it as like, oh, you hating on me or whatever and stuff like that. But in order to improve, you have to know what you can improve on. If everybody tells you that everything you do is great, how can you really improve if you don't have somebody challenging you?
True. So my next question kind of ties into that. How do you deal with negative feedback? You know what I'm saying? And is it something that you kind of look at and just go on about your business? Is something that you take into consideration depending on the individual?
It depends on where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like it depends on where it's coming from. If you're just being negative just to be negative, then I pretty much just delete the comment and keep on moving. Like I don't have time for that because I have a real life. I don't got time for all of that. Right. But if I feel like you're really trying to give constructive criticism and you're really trying to do something to help me, then I'll take it into account. I've had people tell me, I've had one of my good friends, like he was telling me about how I mix my music. Right. He's like your mixes don't come out aren't as good as they should be. Like you should be. And he actually, instead of being just telling me I was doing bad, he actually like showed me like, hey man, let me link up with you and teach you how to like properly mix. And like, if you do it like this, it'll come out sounding so much better. So like the mixing on All About You is like on a totally different level. Like it comes out so much cleaner, and you get the lyrics sound clearer, the beats sound clearer, and you can, if you listen to some of my older albums compared to All About You, you can
Right.
hear the different qualities of the mix now. So it's like
Yeah. Okay.
sometimes listening to other people can be helpful if they're really trying to genuinely help you. But
That's
sometimes there's people that's just
yeah.
like saying stuff just to say stuff.
Yeah, you do have people that troll and gaslight, yeah. But like you said, there are some people that do really see that, yo, maybe you should try this out, maybe you need to change this. And when I think about it, because sometimes you give people constructive criticism or just, something that may help them, and they get into like this defense mode, like on Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It's like, whoa, look, I'm not in attack mode. I just want to help you. I see what you're doing. It's great, but maybe your delivery or maybe your approach could be better. And I think we sometimes look at criticism and you're like, oh, get it away from me. And it's like, not all criticism is bad criticism. It depends on who you get it from.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree 100%. Because when I started doing this, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. I didn't either.
When I first started doing this, the only thing I really knew how to do was rap and sing. That's pretty much all I didn't know anything about YouTube, about video editing, about mixing, about producing. Like I taught myself how to make beats and stuff like that. Like I didn't, because basically it was all out of like, I can't afford to pay somebody for beats. So I started learning how to make my own beats, and I just say I'll do the best I can with what I got. And then I started learning more and learning more and learning more. And my wife Zap Crystal, she's been doing YouTube for like 7 years now, so she's been like teaching me like how to work the algorithm and how to do your thumbnails and how to how to do better editing, and you know what I'm saying, like you get the right people around you to teach you the right kind of things, and you can grow more and more. But when I started, I didn't know when I first started, I didn't even have a real microphone. Like my first album, like you remember those the iPhone earphones that you had, the little headphones that had the little mic thing on the side? Yeah. I recorded my entire first album with one of those.
Wow. Hey, you made it happen, man. You said I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, like it's just that's what my advice to anybody who's trying to get into content creation or do anything like that. Don't let your lack of experience or your lack of equipment or lack of finances stop you from doing your thing, because you can add to your stuff over time. You'll get better, you'll learn stuff, you'll get more involved, and you'll be willing to invest in yourself more and build yourself up. Because like I said, I didn't have anything. I had a headphone microphone set and a laptop, and I was just doing everything from that to now why I have I have my studio mics now, and I have my monitors, and I got my lights, and I got shout out to wifey one again, because she got some really nice equipment that I'm able to borrow.
Okay.
Because like I said, she's one of the people that taught me about investing in yourself. Like,
you got to.
Never be afraid to invest in yourself. If this is something you really want to do, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Because I would have the money to do stuff, but like, man, I can use this money to do this, to take care of this and take care of other stuff. But it's like I had to stop and be like, nah, if I really want to do this thing, then I really need to invest into what I'm doing. So I started buying better mics and better sound equipment, and getting better mixes, and getting better, a software for my music stuff. And like, if you invest in yourself, you'll really see a change. When you invest in yourself, it motivates you to do more too. Because like, all right, now I got money into this thing. So now I got to do good. Like, that's one of the biggest advice I give people, is that no matter where you start at, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere. I used to record videos on my old LG phone. They weren't the best videos ever.
Most of my old videos I recorded from my phone. Like most of my videos from like the first 3 or 4 albums are like all like from my phone. Like I didn't even really start doing like an actual video camera until I moved here to Texas, because my wife already had a video camera that she uses for her videos. So I'm just using her camera. But before that, everything that I've done before that is been from my phone.
Wow.
And I used to use iMovie for my editor, like, because it was free, came with the laptop. So I'm like, all right, boom. Like,
wow. Yes.
I came from very humble beginners, man. It's just, I'm at where I'm at now because I worked hard and I decided to learn and invest in myself.
Yeah, you got to invest in yourself. That's why I ended up buying a whole new LED light. I bought a bigger one. I have my other ones too that I've used before, but the bigger one gives me better lighting compared to the other two. Like the other two do, but I mean they're all LED lights. You know what I'm saying? They were cheap. It was $30 on Amazon. The two that I got, and then the big one was like maybe $25 on Amazon. But yeah, definitely, man. Then when I went from the phone, man, I went to the tablet.
You work with what you use what you got, man, and like that's what I did for the longest time. I just used what I had to like do the best I could, and because there's no point. And that's another thing I tell people too is like, yeah, you can buy all this expensive equipment, but if you don't know what to do with it, don't matter. You can have the best camera in the world. If you don't know how to use it, don't matter. Yeah,
that's true. I know a musician from Texas that I don't even know they still do content anymore. And I remember her biggest complaint was, I don't have all the equipment. You're not going to have all the equipment. Just work with what you got. If you got a decent phone, decent tablet, put out the music that way. Why do you have to have an Apple computer, you know what I'm saying, to put out music, you know?
Not at all.
She was very...
like I said, I started with a pair of Apple earphones and just rapping into my little... just like that. That's where I started from. And I'm still nowhere near close to having like a professional studio setup. Like I'm still a long ways from that. But I just gradually get better. Like I said, if you listen to my old projects, you see each album, it gets a little better, sounds a little better. I found ways to improve each way along the way. So every album is just going to get better and better and better and better.
Yeah, that's definitely dope, man. Yeah, you definitely gotta invest in yourself, because if you don't, then the stuff is not gonna get better. You know, so
pretty much.
That's definitely something. You know, even if it's books, you know, sometimes you ain't got necessarily be equipment. It could be books that may inspire you to do different things with your content. But
because I sat down and took lessons. Like I took lessons from music mixing and stuff like that. I would sit down, pull up some YouTube videos, and just like, all right, show me what I'm doing wrong. Like teach me how to do this properly. Like it's not even necessarily about the equipment, it's about knowledge. Like sometimes just knowing how to do something better than what you're doing, it will improve your quality much. Because like I said, you can have the best microphone in the world, but if you don't know how to mix your stuff properly, it's still going to sound bad. Like it doesn't matter how good your mic is if you can't mix. So.
So my next question for you is something I never asked, and I often wonder: do you consider yourself indie artist, or do you consider yourself an underground artist?
You know what? I've never really thought about it.
Okay.
I just kind of always just considered myself an artist. Like I'm just here doing my own thing. Like I said, I taught myself. I've been doing everything on my own. So I guess from a technical standpoint, I guess I would be indie.
Okay.
Technically, I would be an indie artist because I do it all myself, and I don't like depend on a label or a distributor or anything. Like I do all my own distribution myself. I have my own distribution service I use for getting my music out to Spotify and all that stuff. So like, I pay for my own distribution. I do, like I said, I do all my own music videos. I do all my own mixes. I do all the audio engineering. I do all the recording. I do all the production. Like I pretty much do everything in-house. So I guess technically that would make me an indie artist, but I never really like put myself in a category like that. It's just, I just like making music and I just put it out, and whatever you want to call me, that's fine. But I never really thought about it that way. But I guess from a technical standpoint, I would be indie.
I can see that. Yeah. Cause you're self-sufficient. You're, you know, investing in the stuff that you're putting out. You're, you know, like you said, producing. I didn't know that you were engineering too. Dang, bro.
I do. Yeah, all the audio engineering, all the mixing, all the mastering. I do all the masters.
Dang.
I do. Like I said, when I started, I couldn't afford to pay nobody to do this stuff. Like I still really can't afford to pay nobody to do this stuff. It's cheaper for me to do it. So I'll just I'll learn how to do it and do it myself.
You like the Berry Gordy of Master Summer music.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I learned everything out of necessity. It was just like when I first started, I just couldn't. Like it just either I did it for myself or it wouldn't get done. Yeah,
that's amazing. I did not know that you mixed and you also did the audio engineering. So which one is more difficult of doing between those when it comes down to it?
The most difficult. The most difficult, I would say, is the audio engineering.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that I'm still not nowhere near where I need to be at as far as audio engineering. There's still so much for me to learn and to like be able to tweak, and it's all these like minor things and all these terms and stuff that you got to understand, like
Yeah.
like you got to understand like wave frequency and stuff like that. Like
Yeah. Where
how does the wavelength hit the top, and it's still so much like to learning that I'll say that's probably the most difficult part.
Okay.
Because like as far as like making the music, like recording and production, like that's second nature for me. Like,
Okay.
I grew up in a musical family. Like
Right.
everybody in my family plays an instrument or sings or does something, so music has just always been in me. But it's just like the technical side of it is where I'm like learning the most, and like that's the thing that takes the most time for me, is like mixing and audio engineering and mixing a song, like just one song, that can be like a 2 to 3 hour process.
Oh wow.
Per song.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I sit down and I just like, all right, boom, boom, boom. All right, got to go through all for just one song. So like if you do a project with 16 songs, you're talking, 30, 40 hours of just mixing and mastering to get it where you want it to be. So like it's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes that a lot of people don't probably realize.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's more than just getting in front of the mic and just rapping and spitting bars and doing all that. Like it's a lot that goes into it. Like just putting out an album, creating an album, like even like the album art and like the cover art. I do all that myself as well.
What?
Yeah.
Dang, man. I am impressed. Wow.
Yeah, the art for the albums, all the graphic art you see, all the only thing that I didn't create myself was like you see my layer background back here, like my YouTube channel and my logo. Yeah. That I did get an artist to do that for me, like the actual Master Sword Music logo and all that stuff. Yeah. I did pay somebody to do that stuff, but like the album covers, the thumbnails, all that stuff, I do all that as well.
Wow, bro, you got a hustle here, man.
Yeah.
You got a Master Sword, the mixing, mastering, artwork.
Yeah, all the album artwork that you'll see that's coming out for everybody's project, I've done all of them.
That's
all the artwork for all my albums. I've done all of that.
Wow, that's crazy, man. I didn't know you was doing all this, Master Sword.
I do all of it. I do all. It's only recently I started getting outside help. Like I said, now my wife is helping me with the videos and stuff like that. My boy Katetsu is helping me with production now. But like before that, before this year, I pretty much did everything myself.
Dang, that's incredible, man. You a man with many hats, man.
All the hats.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Because I was gonna ask you, like, who does the artwork? And you just was like, I do the artwork. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I do all the artwork myself. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's amazing though, because like you said, some people limit themselves when it comes to like, hey, I'm a content creator or I do music, and they only do like a certain amount of things, and you're like, you never thought about doing this, you never thought about adding this to it, like add their own flavor or twist to it, or be willing to learn new things. And with you being a lot self-sufficient when it comes to it, that's great, man. To be honest with you, yeah.
I mean, like I said, I had no choice. Like if I didn't do it, then I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Because I never would have started, because I couldn't pay nobody to do art for me. I couldn't pay nobody to make my beats. I couldn't pay nobody to produce and audio engineer. Like when I started Master Sword Music, it was literally just me. So I had to do everything on my own.
Yeah, that's great, man. Like I said, yeah, man. Props to you on that, because like you said, man, you gotta be willing to step out and try things and be willing to grow and evolve with it as well. Amazing, man. My next question for you is, this one's interesting. Have you ever thought about doing rap battles? Or that's not really your thing?
The funny thing is that I actually used to do that.
What?
A while back, me and one of my other artists, we used to do these things called video game rap battles, where we would both take a character and we would rap as that character against each other. So like it would be like we did one. It was like Link versus Cloud or something like that, or it was We did one that was Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, and we would just
Wow.
go back and back and back and back and forth with each other. But eventually, we kind of separated and went our own separate ways, and that whole
Okay.
thing kind of fell off. But
Yeah.
eventually, that is something I would like to bring back though, because those were really fun to do. It was really fun to like do
Yeah.
like the back and forth as the video game characters. It was super dope. Like it was super dope and a fun concept. So that's
Yeah.
something I'm definitely looking to bring back in the future.
Wow, yeah, man. I never would have expected from him. I'm like, man, I wonder if he's into rap battles. 'Cause I know I like some. I listen to some of the rap battles that I see online. I was like,
Yeah,
man,
I loved it. I love rap battles because
yeah,
it's some of the best rappers you'll see are in like the battle circuits. Like those guys are
yes,
like lyrically, those guys can do stuff that you like. It blows your mind.
yeah.
So
That
I
was,
definitely love that kind of stuff. And like taking the video game approach from it was like really really fun. Like I got to play some of my favorite characters. Like we did one. It was like I think it was like Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat versus Akuma from Street Fighter.
wow.
Like that was really dope, and I got to be Shao Kahn. And I love Shao Kahn, so it's like that was really fun.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Because I mean, yeah, battle rap definitely is impressive. There was this one rap battle where this dude was using Dragon Ball Z references, where he had Piccolo, Goku, Chi.
Oh yeah. You'd be like, man, like how did you do that?
My favorite one is the one that they did with Michael Jackson. The dude was rap battling this guy, and he used like all the Michael Jackson albums and singles, like from.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that one. Yeah, I'm off the wall when you. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that was crazy. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I was like, man, these people get so creative with this rap battles, man.
But and a lot of that is influences a lot of what I do with my references because
Okay.
I try to find like really cool, unique ways to say something using a video game reference without doing it. So like that's rap battle definitely influenced me in that sense.
Okay.
Because like one of my favorite lines is I use is they call me I'm like Banjo Kazooie because they can't bear that I'm fly. I love that one. I love that one.
Oh man, yeah, that's dope.
Like so I'll do stuff like that. So like battle rap definitely influenced me with like trying to think of like clever ways to say things.
Yeah, because they do have some clever ways, clever deliveries.
You're like, I didn't see that coming. Like, how did you put that? Make you make the stank face, like, So yeah, man, like that, yeah.
Yeah, rap battles. That's dope, man. Hey, I'm gonna throw it out here, TJ. Gaming rap battles, man.
I have to bring them back. I gotta find somebody that's willing to go in on me with it. I gotta find somebody that's willing to do it with me. Let's go.
Maybe that could be like your YouTube shorts.
Yeah, man, I'm down. I'm down, yo. I'm down. I'm gonna have to find somebody. I'm gonna have to find somebody to go in on me with this. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, my next question for you, I want to say this. How can I put this? So, when it comes to collaborations, have you had ones that were a challenge that challenged you musically or lyrically?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I got a really good one.
Sunday,
this is actually an older one from a former Master Sword music artist. I used to work with this young lady named Absolute Katie.
Okay.
Who's a YouTuber who used to do streaming and live streaming and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was a singer, but she didn't write.
Okay.
So like when me and her did our collaboration together, I actually had to write her part.
Okay.
So like writing for a female was very challenging. Like it's hard because you have to think like a female and like kind of write something that a female would say.
Right.
So it's like, how can I do this? How can I put it that way? How can I do that? So it's like that was a real challenging piece, but it turned out really, really good. And like it was really fun to do that. So like I love working with female artists because it's like it gives me a chance to like do something different and like write stuff that I normally wouldn't write.
Okay. Yeah, I wondered. I said, man, yeah, that's the first record you ever wrote just based on that artist. Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so it's like, I try to write it based on that person, and the fact that it was a woman made it even more challenging. So it's like I'm trying to say stuff that I didn't think that person would say. So it's like,
Yeah, that
oh,
is a bit of a challenge because you're like, okay, now I got to figure out what relates, what they're going through in order to put out this actual song. Yeah,
yeah. So I'll be like, hey, what games do you like? All right, tell me what games you like. All right, let me see if I can reference stuff with those games, or
yeah,
what kind of stuff are you into. So I kind of have to like learn the person, and
yeah.
then like, all right, now I can write for that person. So it's like
Wow,
that was one of my first big challenges, was like trying to write for a female artist.
wow, that's crazy. So they just didn't write; they were just more of a freestyle singer, I
Yeah,
guess.
they're just more of like a vocalist. They would just sing. They did like cover stuff, so they would like sing just other people's songs. They were just like a
Oh,
singer type
okay.
stuff.
So like
So
a
they were
like
never really a writer.
so they just
Yeah, a lot of people like think that just because you sing that you
yeah,
also can write as well, and
yeah.
that's not necessarily the case. Like some of your favorite artists can sing, but they don't necessarily write. You know what I'm saying? Like some of Beyonce's biggest songs were written by Neo. So
True.
it's
In the
like,
dream.
and the Dream, yeah, the
Yeah,
Dream is another one. Like you
yeah,
gotta I give props to those kind of guys, because like
yeah,
that stuff is hard to do. Like
yeah,
Neo did this to the left, to the left.
yeah.
That's written by Neo.
Yeah, it was written by
Like,
Neo. Yeah,
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 it's like, how did he write that?
right,
Because it sounds like it sounds like Beyonce. Like
right,
it doesn't sound like a Neo song. It sounds like a Beyonce song.
right.
So it's like, how do you do that? How do you write for somebody else like that? And that I got mad respect for guys like him and the Dream.
Yeah,
Like, that's a tough thing to do.
yeah, that's dope. So, would you ever write for other like female artists? Like
I
in
would. I
yeah,
definitely would. I would actually enjoy that. Actually, it would be quite a bit,
okay,
because I don't get to do that something, because all the artists that I work with now, they all write their own stuff.
right,
So like, I don't really get that opportunity much. Like my wife writes all her stuff.
right,
Fallon writes all his stuff. All my artists do their own thing. So it's
right.
like that was the only time I really got to step out and try stuff like that. So I
Okay.
would love to work with another artist who doesn't write, to like do that. I would love to try something like that.
Hey, man, I might have to go to TJ the Gamer, yo.
Yeah, anybody looking for a writer out there, let me know.
Right. Might write you a hit record.
Hey, I got you. I got you.
That's dope, though. Yeah, so that got you out your comfort zone. Yeah, that's definitely amazing, man. Wow. Yeah, definitely. So, I know you had mentioned about that. So for 2024, and I'm just going back on this. Is there anyone that you're looking forward to collaborating with next year in 2024?
In 2024. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I mentioned them before, but there's two guys that I've been listening to a lot lately in the underground music scene.
Okay.
My guy Action Jack
Okay.
and my guy Sound of the Rain. Like
Okay.
we have been working together a lot recently, and there are two artists that I enjoy listening to myself. So the fact that I got them both together on a song with me
Yeah.
I'm so excited to release this song. Like I've been holding on to this song, and it's like I have to wait. That's the hardest thing of what I do, is that what a lot of people don't realize is that as I'm releasing music,
Mhm.
I'm already working on like the next project.
Okay.
So like I dropped All About You, and I've in the middle of working on All About You, I was already started working on my next solo project.
Okay.
So it's like when you guys hear stuff, it's usually like 5 or 6 months old by the time it
Okay.
actually drops. So it's like from the time I start an album to the time I release it, it's
Mhm.
about 6 to 7 months time
Wow.
frame.
Okay.
So it's like by the time you guys hear it, I've heard that music like a million times. So it's like I'm on to the next one because I'm so tired of it. So it's like that's how I'm able to like constantly release music like that, because it's like I'm always working. Like I said, my boy Katetsu's project is pretty much already done. My wife's project is pretty much already done.
Mhm.
Then my next solo project is about halfway done. So like,
Okay.
I pretty much got enough music to take me all through the next year.
Okay.
Like, my 2024 is already booked
Dang.
with albums. Like we're already booked for the whole year.
Wow, man.
Like I got enough music in the pocket to like literally I could same thing like I did this year. I'm gonna be releasing new songs every single week. All of my shit.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. What's going on, guys with the pen?
What's up? What's up?
That's incredible, man. That's definitely incredible. when it comes down to it, because like you said, you have enough music to put out where it's not like you're having a dry spell or anything, or where you're just like, no, I don't have nothing coming out.
Always something.
Right. So the next thing I want to ask you about is when it comes to listening to your music, like, do you get tired of listening to your music like before you release it, or do you listen to it and then you say, okay, let me go on to the next?
I do have those moments.
Okay.
Like I do have those moments because like I said, I do all the audio engineering and mixing myself as well.
Right.
So like that means I'm listening to a single song probably like 50, 60 times just to mix it and master it and get it to sound right. So after a while, I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't want to hear it no more.
Right.
But then later on, I'll go back and listen. Like it actually happened to me today because I was working on I'm doing these videos where I put all of my albums together.
Right.
So like I'll have one album and I'll have all the videos from that album into one video.
Yeah.
So like those are going to be coming out pretty soon.
Okay.
So I'm going back and I'm listening to some of these old songs and I'm like, man, that was good. Like that was a good album. Like that was pretty solid. Like because I like after I'm working on the next project, I kind of don't listen to the older stuff as much anymore.
Okay.
But then every once in a while, I'll go back and like listen to that stuff and I'll be like, man, it's pretty solid. Like, and I gain an appreciation for how far I've come. So it's like, yeah, I definitely have those moments where I'm like, I am so tired of listening to this song. Like, I've heard it 50,000 times. I'm done. And I think that's kind of what always pushes me to make something new. Because like, I'm tired of this. Like, All About You, I've probably, like I said, All About You is probably almost like a year to make that album actually.
Okay.
So like that album, I've been working on that since like the beginning of last year. So it's like, I've been listening to it from that time on. Like Goddess will tell you actually, the intro that me and her did for the album, we worked on that like months ago, probably like 10, 11 months ago.
Wow.
When we first like did it. Like she was like, oh man, when you putting this song out? When is it coming out? When is it coming out? When is it coming out? Because like we did that like a long time ago. So like I've heard that song probably a gajillion times.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do have those moments where I get tired of it, but I do go back and like revisit some of that older stuff.
Yeah, I think some artists they love sitting with their music, whether they're riding to it, listening to it in the house, wherever they're at. And I know some artists like, okay, I'm completely tired of it, going on to the next album or mixtape, whatever it is that they're working on. And sometimes, I guess, like you said, hearing it too much may, some people get nervous or maybe discouraged by it because they're like, oh man, I heard it too much. Now I'm worried when I'm gonna release it or drop it. Like, is it good enough for the fans?
That's my hardest thing to do is like, because like I said, I have so many songs. I got at least, like I said, 4 or 5 albums scheduled for next year already, and I've already heard all the music for it. And I want everybody else to hear it. Like I said, the collab I got with Action Jack and Sound of the Rain, like that song, I can't wait to put that song out. Like I wish I could put it out now, but I can't. And then like my wife's album, like she has some incredible music on her album. I can't wait for y'all to hear it, and I have to just like hold on to it. Her album is pretty much done already. And I just like, but it's like it's not coming out until like I think February of next year. And it's like, so it's like that's my struggle. It's just like I when I make music, I want to put it out right away. So I had to learn to like slow myself down. Like, all right.
Yo, what's going on, Katetsu?
Katetsu, what's good, bro?
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I often wonder. I said, wow, that's dope that you're holding on to your music, you holding on to Collector's music. You're like, man, do I really want to drop it? Do I want to release it?
Oh, I want to drop it so bad. Like my boy Katetsu, who just joined in the chat. We're pretty much done with his EP. So it's like, I want y'all to hear that because I got a song on there that's pretty good.
So how do you feel about recycled verses? Like, do you mind going back to use recycled verses, like verses you used before, or are you not? Nah, not really.
Not really. Like I've done something similar before, like some music that I've made in the past that I've never released. Okay. I'll sometimes go back and grab some of that older stuff and use it for newer stuff, but no one's ever really heard it, so it's like it's still new to them.
Yeah, new to the ears. Yeah.
But for me, like everything is a fresh writing experience. Like every time I sit down with the first thing I normally do is I come up with the beat. And whatever beat I got,
Right.
It's what I just start writing and putting stuff together and just start going from there. So every time I put a song together, it's always a fresh writing experience. It's just what works for me, you know.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. I know some people do that with hip hop. It's like, okay, let me recycle a verse, throw another little flip on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like even when I do my remixes of old songs, I'll still put a whole new verse on it. So it's like, that's just the way I've always been. Like I said, I grew up in that 80s, 90s era of hip hop, and that's just what you do. You was like, it was all about that pen. Like, what was your pen? What your pen game do?
Right. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's a good way to go about it when you think about it. So, I know you talked about the 90s style album. Are there any influences that are gonna be from like artists that you listen to from the 90s?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a lot of that. Like my Mount Rushmore that I named. Like I said, you can definitely hear some Jay influence. Oh, another one that I did mention that I really follow a lot is Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
I love Busta Rhymes. I love like his delivery and his energy.
Yeah.
Like the energy that he brings to a song is like ridiculous. So you're gonna hear some stuff like that. You're even gonna hear some stuff from modern, because I even like modern. Like a lot of people will go to modern hip hop and be like, "Oh, this ain't like it used to be," you know. But I actually like some of the newer artists. Like I don't like all of it, but just like I didn't like all of the older music from the 80s or 90s. I didn't like all of it.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah.
But I don't like all of the newer stuff either. But there is some newer artists that I enjoy quite a bit. Like artists that people always are surprised that I tell them that I really, really enjoy. And people are like, "Really, you like that?" Like, yeah, I really do. I love the Migos.
Okay.
I am actually a really big Migos fan. Like I love everything they did. Yeah, like most people are like, "What? Like really?" I love the Migos. Like I love how much like once again it's that energy that they bring.
Okay.
Like they get on the track and they get on the ad lib. Yeah. They just I love it. I love it. I can't help it. I will put on a Migos album and I will listen to it from beginning to end and rock out. So it's like I'm not one of those guys that's just like, "Oh, old music ain't, the new music ain't like the old music," and such and stuff. There's room for everybody, in my opinion. Because what I'm doing necessarily wouldn't be accepted in the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
Like ain't nobody in the 80s and 90s rapping about video games and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really a thing, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like that there's room for everybody to have their own lane.
Yeah,
so that's I don't judge people. I don't judge music based on like it ain't like the old stuff type stuff. Like do I like it now? Does it sound good to me now? And there is some stuff that I like and there's some stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. Yeah, Migos did surprise me, man. I
love it. I love it. People be like, "What? Fight night? Oh, I love fight. I love fight night.
Wow.
Hit it to the I love it.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, Migos, you know, like I said, you'll be amazed by asking people, like, "Hey, I listen to this." You're like, "Wow, that's different."
Yeah, like cool. People would be surprised at my music taste in general. Like, I love hip hop and R&B as a whole because that's usually what I grew up on. But like, I listen to rock and roll, I listen to metal, I listen to like blues, I listen to jazz, I listen to classical. The only kind of music that I don't listen to is country music. I'm not big on country music.
I'm not either. I like when certain artists do it, but they have like
I like certain country songs.
Yeah.
But like the genre as a whole, it's not really. You're not gonna catch me, listening to Tobey Maguire or something like that. You're not gonna catch me riding down the highway listening to Tobey Maguire. You're just not.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I love a lot of stuff. Like if people saw my music playlist, they'd be like, "What in the world?"
Yeah,
because I like old stuff too, like old stuff that's older than my generation. Like I love Marvin Gaye. I love the Temptations.
Wow,
Smokey Robinson. Like I go back to music that's even before my time. Like
I'm the same way. Earth, Wind and Fire, Jimmy.
Oh my God, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, that's my favorite
group. Man. So like people would probably be surprised. Like if they saw my music playlist, they'd be like, "Wow, I never would expect to see that in there." One of my favorite singers of all time is Maxwell.
Wow, that's a good choice.
I
That's a
love
good
Maxwell.
choice.
One of my top 10 songs of all time is "Fortunate" by Maxwell.
Wow.
I love Maxwell. His voice is incredible. Like it's
Yeah.
just he's a
Yeah.
legend. He's a legend in the vocal game. So it's like
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
yeah. One day I'm gonna have to like post my playlist so people can see. Like, you go from Migos to Maxwell. Yep. Migos to Maxwell to a metal band. Like what? Yeah, I love Dragon Force. What you know about Dragon Force? Okay. Like what?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm the same way. Like I said, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Michael Jackson, you know, Prince, you know what I'm saying? Jimi Hendrix, you know.
Yes, sir. Music is such I just love music, man. I just love music. And if it sounds good to me, I'll play it. Like that's how I am when it comes to music. But
Yeah.
you know, I mostly do hip hop and R&B type stuff because like I said, that's what I grew up on and that's the music that I'm most familiar with.
Right.
But as far as like what I listen to everything, man.
Wow. So my next question is something that I've often wondered, because I know some musicians do this. Did you go to college for like music theory or anything, bro?
Actually, I did not.
Wow.
I actually have no formal music training.
Okay.
Any instruments that I've learned on my own.
Okay.
Like I said, I grew up in a church.
Okay.
My grandfather was a pastor, and I grew up in the church, and
Okay.
we all had to play our role. So
Okay.
the first instrument that I ever picked up was the drums.
Okay.
So I would play drums in my grandfather's church, and I'm self-taught in the drums. And then I learned a little bit of keyboard, and then I learned a little bit of guitar. And I used to play the saxophone. I haven't played the saxophone in years, but
yeah,
I need to pick it back up again. But like I taught myself everything. Like I've never had any kind of formal music training.
wow, that's impressive, man. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, because I know some people study music theory. I was seeing something on YouTube and it was interesting. It was a Kendrick Lamar song, by the way, and they were figuring out like the music theory behind it, like how certain things, like with the big steppers. Remember how the people are stepping?
Yeah,
the rhythm and in it, and it's like
they get deep. They lose me with that. I would love to see somebody do that with my music.
Yeah,
I would wonder how that would play out. Like how have somebody like analyze my music and music theory wise,
right.
Just to see what they come up with, because I just make what sounds good to me.
Yeah, that would be.
That's basically what I do. I put the beat on and that sounds good to me. Put it on there.
That would be fascinating, bro. Like
I would really love that, to have somebody like analyze my music to see what they find, because I literally just do whatever feels right to me in the moment.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, that would be crazy. Just imagine, like, oh yeah, like they figure out.
I didn't even know that. Oh, that's cool.
Right. Yeah, that's impressive, man. Yeah, it definitely would be dope to see, man. Wow. Yeah, music theory is something else, man.
It's something else, man. I didn't even learn how to read sheet music until like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago, I learned how to read. I taught myself how to read sheet music, and I've been playing instruments since I was like, I picked up my first instrument at like 5.
Ooh, man. Yeah, that's impressive, man. Definitely. So my next question is something that I said, man, that'd be dope to see. Do you ever want to be featured on Rap Genius?
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Just break down the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times I think people don't even like catch the stuff that I'm saying sometimes. Like I don't think they really got it, what I said right there. Because I would love to like have a video. Like that's actually something I've thought about doing on my channel. Is just doing like a lyric breakdown. Like let me break down all the references so you can see like everything that I snuck in there that you probably missed.
Okay.
That's something that I've thought about doing, like a video like that. So that's something you might see in the future, because I work hard on some of these references. Like if you've never, and with video game references it's a little trickier, because if you've never played that game,
you don't understand the reference.
You might not even get it. Like I said, when I did that Final Fantasy song, and I'm talking about Phoenix Downs and high potions and stuff like that. Like, if you've never played those games, you have no clue.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, that'll be dope. Like have your own version of Rap Genius. Yeah, like a master sword genius.
Yeah, like I would love to do that, just so I could show people like, oh, like in some of my earlier videos, that's kind of a reason why, like when I would make a reference, I would throw up like a picture or a graphic from like that video from that game, so you can, oh, you can see that. So like that's something I used to do a lot in my earlier videos because I thought people wasn't catching the references, but then later on it kind of clashed with what I was doing sometimes. So I kind of stopped doing it, which is something I might bring back in the next album. But with this album, I was just like, nah, I can't do that for this album. It's not cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope for sure, man. What's the name said? Do it, guys.
Do it. I'm thinking I might have to do a little. I would love to do that because man, I work really hard on some of these references sometimes. So it's like, did y'all really get it or did you not get it?
So my next question for you is, what are some of your influences behind your videos, bro? Each video you bring something unique with your music videos, man.
Influences for music videos, like 80s, once again, 80s and 90s. BT.
Okay.
Good old BT. What was it? What was the video thing called on BT? BT Jams or something like that. Okay. I can't remember the name of the show now, but it's the show.
106 in Park?
106 in Park, The Basement, stuff like that. Yeah. Like just that. I grew up on that kind of stuff. So like that's where a lot of my ideas come from. And most of the time it's just me like this is what the song is about. How can I portray that or how can I show that in a video type thing? So it's like sometimes the ideas come from left, right. But like I said, with the current album, I kind of let my wife take over and do those ones. So like all the videos for All About You, I pretty much gave her the concept of the album and what it was about. Right. And she created the ideas for the videos. So I just kind of let her do her thing and just like she took it to a different level. So it's just like I kind of just go with the flow per project. Like each project kind of has a different feel to it as far as the videos.
Of course.
So it's like, that my previous album before that when I did a lot of stuff with the green screen. So I could have like the little fancy stuff show up and pop up on the screen and stuff like that. And just trying to portray the message in my music. So it's just like whatever works for that particular song, that's pretty much what I do. Okay.
Any favorite music video directors?
Hype Williams.
Woo, that's a good choice. He did. Ooh, man, he got a lot of
Hype Williams. Okay. That's all I got to say is Hype Williams. He's dope. Some of your favorite music videos of all time probably was Hype Williams. Like
wow. He's done a lot.
Yeah, he's done like that was as soon as you said it, that was the first name that popped in my head.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Hype is a good choice, man. Definitely.
Hype Williams, man. He did a lot. He did all of them. It was especially from that era, like that time period I grew up in. Like Hype Williams was pretty much all over everything. Like
and his music videos were costly. I remember watching it was behind the scenes at BET, like the making of the video.
A Hype Williams video is oh yeah. You can tell though. If you look at what he do, you'd be like, man.
Yeah, I was just amazed. I was like, wow, he really does put out some edgy videos. I mean, I look at some of the Chris Brown stuff, the Nas.
And he like I said, he's been doing it for so long. So he's touched generations of music, like generations of music videos. Hype Williams has been in there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. How do you feel about the state of hip hop, man? Like, do you feel it's going in a new golden age, or just a new transformation or evolution? Or
here's all right, here we go.
Okay,
because this is a very controversial question because a lot of people like there's two schools of thought. There's some people who said, "Oh, hip hop is failing. Hip hop is terrible. It's trash now. It's gone." And then some people say that hip hop is the golden age and da 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 da. I actually disagree with both.
Okay.
What I say is hip hop is doing the same thing that hip hop has always done for years, and that is following the popular trend.
Okay.
And that's something that's always happened in hip hop. Like at one point, gangster hip hop was the thing, right? So like you had your Run DMCs and stuff like that doing that more like gangster type hip hop. And then for many years after that, that's all you heard was gangster hip hop. You had
Right.
your, you know, your if you say your 50 Cents and your DMXs and that hardcore hip hop type stuff.
Right.
And then you get the 2000s era. You get like your Little Johns and your Soldier Boys. You get that more dancey type hip hop.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much what everybody was doing at that time because that's what was hot. It was this Soldier Boy and all these dances and nays and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the dance era of hip hop.
Yeah, and then you got. It's funny that we was talking about it earlier, but now I got what I call the Migos era.
Yeah.
Where everybody is doing that kind of like that Migos style hip hop.
Yeah.
It's like like now that's kind of what's hot, right? Then it became like doing the auto tune and singing over top of it type stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're getting a lot of that type of stuff. So it's like there's hip hop has kind of always been doing the same kind of thing, and that's actually kind of where I come in. Okay. Because like my ultimate goal is to prove to the world that you can do something different than what everybody else is doing and still be successful.
Yeah, so like, true.
So people say like, "Oh, TJ, why don't you do just like a regular hip hop album or a regular R&B album? Like it would probably be really good." But I'm like, then I would pretty much be following what everybody else is doing, and I kind of want to have my own lane. Like,
yeah.
I'm doing the video game thing. I'm doing like the video game themes and stuff like that. That's unique to me and who I am.
Right.
Because I'm a gamer, but I also love music. So I basically just put those two things together and created what I do. So it's like when people ask me about the state of hip hop, I'm like, it's the same that it's always been. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It could be either way. But hip hop has always been about following the popular trend. Because like people's like, oh, hip hop's supposed to be hardcore, but I'm like, do you really know your hip hop history? Because hip hop in the beginning wasn't that. Hip hop in the beginning was hip a hop, a hip to the hip to the hip hop. Don't stop and shake it to the bang bang boogie. That wasn't gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't gangster hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's not where it started. That became a thing. You got like I said, you had that era, you had the gangster era, you had the drug dealer era, you got the drug user era, you got the lean era, you got the, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always been this pattern of following whatever is hot at the time.
Okay.
And that's kind of just what hip hop has always been. So I don't think hip hop is better or worse for it. I just think that's just what it is. Whatever's hot is that's what people follow. So right now, what you're seeing is, the Migos, the drug use, the Xanny Percocet era, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's what's hot right now. And that's what people want to hear. So
yeah.
And then music is one of those things where it's like people want to hear what they want to hear.
True.
So it's like, can you be mad at somebody making that kind of music when that's all the people want to hear?
True. Yeah.
Like in the era where club music was really popular, like your Juveniles back that thing up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's what everybody wanted to hear at that time.
Yeah.
That's what was hot. Yeah. So then you get the Yin Yang Twins, and then you get Little John, and then you get all these people doing the same kind of thing because that's what people want to hear. The people decide what music is hot and what's not.
True. Yeah.
It's one of the few genres where the people really decide what's hot right now.
Yeah.
If people don't like your music, they just won't listen to it.
That's true. Yeah. You're right.
It just is what it is. So if this artist that you don't necessarily like has 1 million people listening to his music, does that mean his music's bad? No. His music that means people like it. That means just because you don't like it doesn't make it bad.
True.
The people decide what music is hot. If you don't have the people, then it is what it is. Everybody loves Drake.
Yeah.
Does everybody think Drake's the greatest rapper of all time? Whatever, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. I don't know.
Right.
But I know one thing. If a new Drake album come out, everybody going to download it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yes, it depends, like you said, on the fans.
Yeah, it's a crowd controlled genre. Music is what do the people want to hear?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good explanation, man. Definitely. Yeah, what do people say? That's not a bad idea after this interview. Zara said, yes, sir. And Percocet era is wild, but it's true. Tasi is hot in music, too. You know what? I think it's a yin and yang thing with music. Sometimes you got your good, you got your bad, but then it depends on the artist. Some artists are a little bit more, I guess, good or positive, and then you got the ones that focus a little bit more on the negativity, but then they have the positive in there too.
Yeah.
But it's not, the way you want it to be, I guess.
Exactly. So like I have people that I like that I think are doing their thing, that I enjoy their music and what they're doing. Are they the most popular artists? Probably not, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like we don't have any control over what the people want to hear. So I just try to make music that I enjoy and that other people may enjoy. And what I tell every music artist that's out there is that there's a fan base for everybody.
True. Yeah.
There's going to be somebody out there that likes what you do.
Yeah.
Is my audience going to be the biggest music audience in the world? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. All I know is there is an audience out there for me. There are people out there who enjoy my music, and they come in every week to check the videos, and they always download me on Spotify, and they come from different countries, different creeds. Like I said, like one of my biggest markets is Russia.
Yeah.
Do I make music for Russians? No, I don't. No. But they like it, so they listen to it. It is what it is. So it's like there's an audience for everybody. I never would have thought that my music would be in Russia or Japan or Canada or UK. Mm-hmm. I was happy just having a couple people listening to me every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's an audience for everybody, so you just have to find your audience and cater to that.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. Yep. Cater to your fan base. Yeah, I think music is a universal thing. You know what I'm saying? No matter what culture you're in.
Yeah.
Pop, R&B, blues, jazz, alternative, rock.
People gospel. Like what you like. There's people in China listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
There's people in America listening to Chinese music.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a set thing. It's just what do you like to hear?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely man. Well, man, I enjoy doing this interview with you, man.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a good time.
It was really cool because I learned some things I didn't know about you. I was like, man, I didn't know he, was into this type of stuff and just his, theories and just his opinions and stuff, man. It's been great, man.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. This was a great time, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. TJ the Gamer, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, this is it, man. If anybody wants to say anything before we go, but thanks again, man. I truly do appreciate it. This is our second collaboration, by the way, for people that don't know.
Yeah, we did. This is our second time. Yeah, they're right. You got on me early, bro. You got on me early. I was like, okay. I definitely appreciate it because you definitely put a spotlight on me that wasn't on me before. So that's why anytime you want me to come on or be here, I will definitely do your show anytime because you showed me love at a time where I really needed it, and you put a lot of eyes on me that I didn't have before. So I definitely I will always appreciate you for that.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I appreciate it. I can help, man. I try to tell people about your music, and like I said, I'm glad people.
You definitely like just me being on your show the last time. Like I definitely saw a spike in my subscribers. I definitely saw a spike in comments. Like people that I've never been introduced to. I got introduced to a lot of new people that I didn't know. Okay. Being a part of your content creator group, I've met a lot of really cool people. So it's like. So it's like I said, you're a good dude, and I appreciate you, man. You've definitely helped me on this journey, and I will always support you in what you do.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro, man. Let's see what Guys with Opinions said. My biggest markets for poetry are Japan and Australia. I definitely get that. Yeah, that's what's up, Guys with Opinions.
So I'm saying you'll never know where your audience is, man. You never know.
That's what's up. Yeah, definitely. Great interview, sir. Thanks, Zap. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so this is it, guys. Like I said, enjoy chopping it up with TJ the Gamer, and like I said, man, best of luck to you for the rest of the year, and man, the new year going forward, man.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Like All About You. Go to your favorite music streaming platform, type in the name TJ the Gamer, and check out All About You. And we still got some more videos that's going to be dropping soon. So definitely prepare for that. And thank you once again.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, man. Well, all right, everyone. It was nice chatting with everybody. Thanks, Thousand, for tuning in. Koketsu, Zab, Goddess. And if you catch the replay, thanks, too, because, hey, I don't mind y'all catching the replay either.
Exactly.
Have a wonderful Sunday, guys, and I'm out.
Peace out.
All right, thanks again, man.